This is Nightline and I'm Muhammed Hamdan. News making the headlines. Malaysia signs 8 MOUs with Bangladesh to boost bilateral ties and defence cooperation. And government proposes speedy criminal law reforms, including an end to mandatory caning. Good morning. We begin with this headlining story. Malaysia and Bangladesh continue to strengthen ties following a meeting between Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and Chief Advisor of the Government of Bangladesh, Professor Muhammad Yunus, on Tuesday. 8 memoranda of understanding and agreements were inked, covering areas such as education, defence, energy, trade and the halal ecosystem. Professor Muhammad, who is on a 3-day official visit to Malaysia, was accorded an official welcome at the Perdana Putra complex on Tuesday morning. He arrived at 9 a.m. and was received by the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers. He then inspected a guard of honour mounted by the 1st Battalion of the Royal Ranger Regiment. The visit is a reciprocal gesture following Anwar's official visit to Bangladesh in October last year. Both leaders then held a meeting lasting over an hour, focusing on various areas of mutual interest. At a joint media conference following the meeting, Anwar said the Multiple Entry Visa, or MEV, for Bangladeshi workers was introduced in acknowledgement of their contribution to the Malaysian workforce.
The Home Affairs Minister with the Human Resources Minister have agreed on this Multiple Entry Visa facility, mainly to assist so that workers can go and meet their families and feel secure in their jobs. You have made some proposals and we have given priority, particularly to assist the stranded workers.
The MEV, which came into effect last Friday, aims to improve the management of legal foreign worker movements through a more systematic monitoring system. Anwar and Professor Muhammad also witnessed the signing of 8 MOUs and agreements across the agreed sectors. Meanwhile, Anwar said Malaysia and Bangladesh have also reaffirmed their commitment to collaborate on issues concerning Rohingya refugees and the situation in Myanmar. The Prime Minister acknowledged the heavy burden shouldered by Bangladesh in hosting large numbers of Rohingya refugees.
We are concerned with the burden placed on Bangladesh on having to cater for enormous numbers of Rohingya refugees, and therefore to secure peace in Myanmar is of course a great priority, and immediate humanitarian assistance for the sufferings, first the refugees, then the victims of earthquakes.
Anwar said Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan will coordinate a team with his counterparts from Indonesia, the Philippines and Thailand to visit Myanmar in the coming weeks to push for peace in the country.
We need lots of support, and we are looking forward to Malaysia's support. Always we bank to them. And you have just mentioned about the Rohingyas. This is a big problem for us. We are seeking help from Malaysia, particularly as the chair of the ASEAN group of countries. So we need all the help we can get.
He added that Malaysia's backing would also help strengthen Bangladesh's incoming government, expected to be formed after elections in February next year. At another event, Anwar outlined 5 key pillars under Malaysia's National Artificial Intelligence Framework, expressing confidence that the clear roadmap will position the country as an inclusive AI-driven nation. The pillars include a forward-looking policy, a digitally literate and agile workforce, and secure, trustworthy digital infrastructure. Anwar stressed that every Malaysian will have the opportunity to benefit from the nation's technological and digital advancements.
Better governance, sparking innovation, and improving lives through Through our AI Nation framework, we will ensure that AI works for every Malaysian in every corner of the country.
Speaking at the ASEAN AI Malaysia Summit 2025 in Kuala Lumpur, Anwar said the Digital Ministry, with the National AI Office at its core, will lead the initiative to ensure that technology becomes a driver of sustainable and inclusive growth. At the event, the Prime Minister also launched Ilmu, Malaysia's first multimodal large language model, developed by YTL AI Labs in partnership with University Malaya. The Criminal Law Reform Committee, CLRC, has proposed several immediate reforms or quick wins while carrying out a full review of the Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code and the Evidence Act 1950. Among the changes include abolishing mandatory whipping by giving judges discretion in sentencing. Speaking at a ministerial briefing at the Dewan Rakyat Special Chambers, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman Said, also outlined several other short-term revisions that could be implemented.
Menambah baik proses tahanan riman, perluasan perintah khidmat masyarakat untuk kesalahan kecil sebagai alternatif kepada hukuman penjara, pengkukuhan sistem e-pengakuan salah EPG, penambahbaikan prosedur penzahiran dokumen di peringkat pra-perbicaraan, penambahan proses ikat jamin bagi menjamin keadilan dan ketetapan waktu keputusan.
She said the committee also has a special mandate to review proposed amendments to Section 97 of the Child Act 2001, following the abolition of mandatory death and life imprisonment sentences under Act 846. The establishment of the CLRC is part of the Unity Government's legal reform agenda to strengthen the country's justice system. Meanwhile, Azalina cited pushback from certain states as one of the reasons behind the delay in setting up the proposed Ombudsman Malaysia, as Putrajaya missed the July deadline to finalize negotiations. She added that stakeholder engagements revealed objections from several states to the idea of the independent body. Engagement sessions on the proposal began in July last year, involving multiple stakeholders, including state-level representatives. Speaking in the Dewan Rakyat, Azalina revealed that during those sessions, some states argued that they would prefer to set up their own oversight agencies, while others rejected the idea altogether.
Saya tak nak sebut negeri-negeri, ada negeri mereka ada ombudsman mereka sendiri, dan ada negeri dalam proses nak wujudkan ombudsman mereka sendiri. Tapi ada juga negeri yang tak nak langsung campuran tangan, walaupun di segi pemantauan pada agensi-agensi di peringkat negeri mereka.
She said the legislative framework is being finalised for cabinet consideration and is expected to be tabled in Parliament this October. The Ombudsman Malaysia is among the key institutional reforms of the Unity Government, envisioned as an independent body to receive and address complaints on the delivery of federal public services. The new body will replace the Public Complaints Bureau and the Enforcement Agency Integrity Commission. The government is also looking to incorporate powers from the Whistleblower Protection Act and Freedom of Information laws in the Ombudsman framework. The Higher Education Ministry is looking to review its policies on bullying among university students, with a focus on tightening procedures and mechanisms to curb the problem. Minister Datuk Seri Zamri Abdul Kadir said the move will take a holistic approach, including to promote a zero-tolerance culture towards bullying, introducing a more efficient reporting system for such cases, and enhancing campus security through the installation of CCTV cameras. Zamri said the ministry will also prioritise anti-bullying awareness programs, character building and ethics training, as well as improve standard operating procedures for handling bullying cases.
Kalau dalam konteks kampus, sistem itu ada, dengan segera kita akan peringatkan ataupun dimaklumkan kepada pihak universiti. Mungkin kekemasan kepada pelaporan itu perlu kita lakukan, khususnya dalam konteks apabila pelajar-pelajar kita, siswa-siswa kita menjalani satu latihan di luar.
The Dewan Rakyat heard that between 2014 and 2025, 31 cases of bullying were recorded by the ministry across 8 public universities. The cases involved physical bullying as well as cyberbullying, which can stem from social psychological factors, campus environment, social media influence, and lack of parental supervision. In a related matter, Zamri said a special committee has been set up to reinvestigate the death of Shamsul Haris Shamsuddin, a Reserve Officer Training Unit or Palapes trainee from University Technology Malaysia in Skudai. The decision was made following dissatisfaction expressed by the trainee's family over the initial death report.
Beliau telah pun memohon secara rasmi supaya dibuat semula siasatan semula ke atas keadaan anak beliau itu, dan perkara ini telah pun dirujuk kepada peguam negara, dan saya telah memaklumkan juga kepada pihak peguam negara, dan atas laporan yang telah dikemukakan oleh pihak peguam yang berkenaan.
The investigation team comprises representatives from the Defence Ministry, Home Ministry and Health Ministry, with findings expected to be released soon. On July 28th, the 22-year-old died after completing a training exercise at the Army Combat Training Centre in Ulu Tiram, Johor. Rejecting the initial cause of death, which was reported as a seizure, his mother has called for a second post-mortem to be conducted. The death of 13-year-old student Zara Khairina Mahathir remains a top priority for the Education Ministry, which has pledged its full commitment to uncovering the truth and upholding justice. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said the ministry is deeply saddened by the tragedy and has agreed to hold engagement sessions with all stakeholders to provide clarity on the existing guidelines on dealing with bullying. Fadlina met with student activist representatives at Parliament on Tuesday to discuss concerns raised in a memorandum submitted to the Ministry's Secretary-General, Dato' Aminuddin Hasim. In a statement on her Facebook page, the Minister announced several key measures to enhance safety at institutions under the Ministry's purview. These include conducting safety audits, improving the bullying complaint system, and taking firm action against perpetrators. She added that the ministry has also agreed to engage with student movements and the community to develop clear and strict standard operating procedures for bullying cases. The government has urged local contractors to expand the use of the Industrialised Building System or IBS and Building Information Modelling or BIM. Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan said these modern technologies are expected to speed up project completion and reduce construction costs. According to Amir Hamzah, the use of these technologies will be highlighted in the 13th Malaysia Plan.
Pada masa yang sama, pembangunan berorientasikan transit TOD akan diperluaskan bagi mengintegrasikan perumahan dengan sistem pengawatan awam. Ini adalah peluang besar untuk kontraktor Bumiputra memainkan peranan utama dalam merealisasikan aspirasi pembangunan negara yang mampan dan eksklusif.
He added that the plan also targets the construction of 1 million affordable housing units over 10 years by the government and private developers. To help achieve this goal, the Malaysian Bumiputra Contractors Association and the Construction Industry Development Board have launched a training hub to produce contractors skilled in BIM technology. Malaysia's palm oil exports rose 3.82% in July to 1.3 million tonnes. According to the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, MPOB, the country produced 1.81 million tonnes of crude palm oil during that period. This figure was a 7.09% increase compared to June. Palm kernel production also rose nearly 9% to over 431,000 tonnes. However, MPOB reported that crude palm oil stockpiles fell to 1.02 million tonnes last month, while processed palm oil stocks rose by more than 10%, bringing total palm oil inventories to 2.11 million tonnes in July. The US and China have extended their trade truce for another 90 days, just hours before the world's two biggest economies were set to hike tariffs on each other. US President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Monday to continue the truce until November 10th, while Beijing announced that it would also extend its tariffs pause. It means the US will hold its levy on Chinese imports at 30%, while China will keep a 10% tariff on American goods. Even with the truce, trade flows between the countries have been hit this year, with U.S. government figures showing U.S. imports of Chinese goods in June cut nearly in half compared with June 2024. $200 stolen casino chips recovered. This and more after this short break.
Aku nak tanya ni, suka matcha atau suka kopi?
Kopi boleh, matcha pun boleh.
Proses bedah siasat mayat bantu rungkai suatu persoalan.
Had usia wajar untuk dapatkan pendidikan akan kami bincangkan.
Gelandangan di lokasi awam mengganggu keselesaan dan keselamatan masyarakat.
Soal wang biar apa asal berkaya.
MSI Isnin hingga Jumaat 10 pagi.
Juga di aplikasi tonton.
Hanya di TV3.
Jiran terdengar bunyi seekor kambing mengembek dalam keadaan yang luar biasa.
Pengadu dapati kambing peliharaannya telah mati. Pengadu syaki bahawa suspek tersebut telah melakukan persetubuhan terhadap haiwan berkenaan.
Seks luar tabi'i dengan haiwan ni dikenali sebagai zoofilia. Individu tu dia mempunyai dorongan seksual atau fantasi terhadap haiwan.
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headline.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
Key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton. Nightline continues. Pahang police have recovered 200 of the 300 casino chips worth 2 million ringgit stolen from a casino hall in Genting Highlands. State Police Chief Datuk Seri Yahaya Othman said the recovery was made after a man surrendered the chips at the Bentong District Police Headquarters. Yahaya said investigations revealed that the man in his 30s had purchased the chips from the suspect responsible for the theft, a junket operator or casino promoter who brings in high-spending clients on the same day they were stolen.
Dia beritahu dekat di hotel, di tempat kasino, katakan dia menang. Jadi junket pun menerima chips tersebut.
Police believe the 44-year-old suspect still holds the remaining 100 chips worth 1 million ringgit. Based on intelligence, the suspect, a former casino employee, has fled abroad and police are working with Interpol to track him down. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for criminal breach of trust. In Terengganu, police seized 198.9 kilograms of shabu worth 6.3 million ringgit in Kuala Terengganu. The drugs were discovered in 2 cars that tried to evade police during an interrogated roadblock on the Kota Baru Kuala Terengganu route on July 28th. Terengganu Police Chief Datuk Muhammed Khairuddin said the cars made abrupt U-turns when they arrived at the location of the roadblock. Officers then gave chase before finding the vehicles abandoned in Kampung Felda Balara. Inspections on the cars found 188 packages filled with crystal-like substances believed to be shabu.
Dadah yang dirampas ini dipercayai boleh digunakan oleh seramai 994,550 orang penagih. Nilai keseluruhan rampasan dadak adalah berjumlah RM6,364,800 Malaysia.
Khairi added initial investigations found that the drugs were brought in from Kelantan and intended to be distributed to markets outside Terengganu, including the Klang Valley. Efforts to track down the suspects are underway. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. And over in Malacca, a technician was charged at the Ayakuro Sessions Court on Tuesday with 52 counts of incest, physical sexual assault, and of filming his daughter in the nude. The 41-year-old man claimed trial to the charges after they were read out to him before Judge Hadaria Siri. He was charged with 17 counts of incest and 34 counts of physical sexual assault on his daughter, who is now 18, along with 1 count of recording pornographic videos of his daughter. The offences were allegedly committed at a house in Ayakuro between May 12th and August 2nd. The court set bail of 90,000 ringgit and prohibited the accused from contacting the victim and witnesses for the prosecution. He was also ordered to report to a police station once every 2 weeks and to surrender his passport to the court. The court set September 18th for case mention. Two dead in Pennsylvania steel plant blast. The details when Nightline returns.
Wanita hari. Betul ke kalau buat apa-apa pun jangan beria sangat?
Jangan sampai nanti kita yang kecewa.
Lambatkan makanan laut nak masak apa?
Ada banyak sambal udang ikan 3 rasa dan macam-macam lagi.
Jangan tak tahu kucing pun sambut hari jadi.
Miau, comel kan?
Sesuaikan usia persaraan dilanjutkan.
Kestabilan kewangan, faktor kesihatan mental dan fizikal harus diambil kira.
Farid, perlukah pillow talk bersama dengan pasangan?
Tak salah kalau membawa kebaikan.
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Apa akan jadi bila seorang ayah kembali ke usia remajanya?
Pa, tidak.
Tapi jiwanya masih sama.
얘 아빠예요.
이런 미친!
누가 이렇게 했냐니까!
난 너 처음 보는 것 같은데.
No, tidak.
18 Again, mulai 13 Ogos, setiap Rabu hingga Jumaat, 11 malam, di slot Cam Sarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Jiran terdengar bunyi seekor kambing mengembek dalam keadaan yang luar biasa.
Pengadu dapati kambing peliharaannya telah mati. Pengadu syaki bahawa suspek tersebut telah melakukan persetubuhan terhadap haiwan berkenaan.
Seks luar tabi'i dengan haiwan ni dikenali sebagai zoofilia. Individu tu dia mempunyai dorongan seksual atau fantasi terhadap haiwan.
Unlocking the future of business.
From industry evolutions to policy changes, we go beyond the headline.
Deep insights, sharp analysis.
Understanding the forces driving tomorrow's economy.
Key financial insights that drive decisions.
This is Money Matters, every Saturday, 5 p.m.
Only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton. Welcome back. Onto the foreign front. Goh Cheng Liang, the self-made billionaire behind Nippon Paint, died surrounded by family on Tuesday at the age of 98. According to Forbes, his fortune stood at $13 billion, built from founding the Wuthelam Group and its majority stake in Nippon Paint Holdings. Born in 1927, Goh, Singapore's richest man, rose from humble beginnings, growing up in a rented shop house and selling fishnets to start the Pigeon brand paint business in 1949. His strategic partnership with Nippon Paint in 1962 led to the creation of Wuthelam in 1974, which now owns nearly 60% of the global coatings giant. Beyond business, his Goh Foundation funded cancer research, education and community projects in Singapore and his ancestral home in Chaozhou, China. The Royal Thai Army on Tuesday warned of possible retaliatory action against Cambodia after a landmine explosion severely injured a Thai soldier near Prasat Taman Thom in Surin province, calling it graphic proof of Cambodia's breach of the ceasefire. Army spokesman Colonel Wintai said the blast occurred in the morning within Thai territory, about 1 kilometre from the border, and left Sergeant Tirapon Piakanti with a serious injury to his left ankle. He added that fragments of a PMN-2 landmine scattered around the 1-metre crater suggest the device was deliberately planted to target Thai troops. The army labelled the incident as a blatant violation of both the ceasefire and the Ottawa Convention, accusing Cambodia of malicious intent and intimidation. Indonesia's bid to ramp up food self-sufficiency hit a snag when the head of a state-owned farming company resigned just 6 months into the role. PT Anggrinas Pangan Nusantara President Director João Angelo de Souza Mota, who is aligned with President Prabowo Subianto's political party, tendered his resignation on Monday, apologizing to farmers and the nation. He revealed that the company had zero budget and had failed to make any tangible impact on farmer welfare. Mota also blamed bureaucratic hurdles tied to Danantara, the government's strategic investment arm, noting repeated feasibility reviews that slowed progress. Danantara CEO Rosan Perkasa Roslani, however, assured that operations at the agricultural firm will continue and that leadership transition will proceed smoothly. In the U.S., at least 2 people were killed and 10 others injured after multiple explosions rocked a steel plant near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Monday. The blast at the Clayton Coke Works, part of a sprawling industrial complex along the Monongahela River, occurred just before 11 a.m. local time. The initial explosion, followed by several smaller blasts, was felt in nearby communities, prompting county officials to warn residents to stay away. Firefighters battled intense flames and thick smoke pouring from the plant, which is owned by U.S. Steel, a subsidiary of Nippon Steel. While air quality monitors did not detect a dangerous rise in sulfur dioxide, residents within 1.6 kilometers of the site were urged to remain indoors and limit outdoor activity. The cause of the incident remains under investigation. On to sports now. Football, the Super League. 3 matches lit up Tuesday night. Selangor FC bounced back in the league with a 3-0 win over Brunei DPMM FC, while Kelantan, the Real Warriors, were held to a 1-0 draw by Immigration FC. Johor Darul Takzim, JDT, meanwhile, were pushed to the limit before storming back for a thrilling 5-3 victory over Negeri Sembilan FC. At the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium, the visitors silenced a home crowd when Joseph Esso broke the offside trap in the 8th minute before Jovan Motika doubled the lead just 4 minutes later. JDT replied in the 38th minute through John Israel's towering header, and João Figueiredo pounds on a goalkeeping blunder to make it a 2-2 before the break. Israel's thunderous strike from a corner and Arif Aiman Muhammad Hanapi's quick-fire finish put the hosts 4-2 up, but Motika struck again on the hour mark to keep the contest alive. Bergson da Silva's stunning acrobatic goal in the 90th minute sealed back-to-back league wins for the Southern Tigers. Turning to golf now, Malaysia's trio of Zulaikha Nasir, Aritapan and Genevieve Ling have given themselves a fighting chance to secure a dream LPGA Tour start at their Maybank Championship in October, following a solid opening round on Tuesday. Zulaikha carded an even par 72, share second place with Thai amateur Achiraya Srirong, 5 shots behind leader Krit Chayana Kaupatanaskul, who fired a superb 67 at KLGCC. Arita and Genevieve Each posted 73s to sit in a four-way tie for third heading into the decisive final round. It was a tougher day for the highest-ranked Malaysian in the field, Liana Durisic, and former SEA Games gold medalist Ng Jin Suen, who both faced an uphill task after opening with 77s. Only the top 5 will earn spots in October's $3 million event, which guarantees at least $5,400. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at how locals in Algeria's Kabyle Mountains continue the Roman-era tradition of harvesting salt from a high-altitude sebkha to preserve their heritage and livelihoods. With that, I'm Muhammed, and thanks for watching and stay safe.